Good morning. Welcome to Sector Edge. It is Monday, November 18th, and the market is incredibly exciting right now. The market's pulled back after an explosive move higher. That's exactly what you wanted to see happen, and you want to get in. Remember, people are going to be looking at NVIDIA. They report after the close on Wednesday. They're going to be focusing on Tesla because, of course, Trump got elected, and his good buddy Elon Musk is now getting all types of perks. And of course, they're going to deliver that news in that way. Surprise, Spirit Airlines seems to be filing for bankruptcy. Symbol SAVE, S-A-V-E. Doesn't seem like anything can save you, not even a potential buyout from JetBlue, which did not work. It fell through. And Robinhood starting to explode higher, even further break new highs. Interestingly enough, out of the 5 stocks that are talked about the most today, 3 of them we have positions on at some of our services here at True Market Insiders. Let's start with the one that everybody is talking about, NVIDIA, NVDA. Now, I said you'll see it in the price behavior before you see it in the news. NVIDIA, you can see, has been running out of steam. It's been moving higher on very light volume, and it recently started selling off. And by the way, the semiconductor sector used to be the hot sector. People who are not watching the relative strength of that sector, like we are, they're still going to hold on to yesterday's story. They're still going to boast and brag about how they own NVIDIA. And by the way, like I said, I have a position in NVIDIA in one of my services. Long term, I think it's a great stock. Semiconductor sector, though, is really starting to fall off. Unengaged, I guess, let go of the story of semiconductors. It's not the hot story. Now the hot story is banks, finance, and things like that. Let's go to the True Market Insiders platform. And if you look at the top 5 strongest sectors right now, healthcare, banks, aerospace, airlines, finance, and software. All right, we're going to review this every single day, and we're going to run whatever's in the news through the platform so I can show you the difference between the news and what really matters, which is price behavior. So enter the ticker symbol NVDA, so NVIDIA. Now, the news story that recently came out this morning, NVIDIA faces issues with new AI chip causing a decline. So their flagship AI chip, Blackwell, which is currently being delivered, is having GPU concerns, overheating issues when used in servers equipped with 72 processors. These servers reportedly consume power as high as 120 kilowatts per rack. Do you know what that means? I don't care. NVIDIA, we've been talking about this for the last several months, how NVIDIA has been losing steam. I would love to see the stock pop. Like I said, I'm bullish on it. There's a lot of other plays that you can be in. Just, if you're going to be in semiconductors, be in NVIDIA. But just deprogram your mind. NVIDIA, semiconductors has been the hottest thing. Everyone's going to, this is going to be a situation where everybody's still holding on to yesterday's story. If you look at the semiconductors sector, it's ranked 44 out of 45, as you see on the screen. Semiconductors, let me just go to the sector relative strength matrix and show you what I mean here. Semiconductors at the bottom, if I click on it, you'll see the history of their rankings. And you can see it dropped down before the election, remained lower after the election. It's among the worst sectors to be in right now. Steer clear of the semiconductor sector. As we've been saying, that doesn't mean steer clear of all tech. Software is very strong, computers very strong, internet somewhere around the, let me INE. All right, internet is down at 36, so actually internet is not strong either. So the top 2 are software and computers. Down at the bottom is internet and semiconductors. Semiconductors is kind of like a more pronounced bearish, weak message. All right, but one thing I will say, again, IWM, this is the Russell 2000 small cap index, and you can see a beautiful chart here after had an ascending triangle where you have higher lows here with even lows. You saw a breakout, and again, you have higher lows here with even highs and another breakout. It's pulled back after a big breakout after the election, and that's what everybody wanted to see. So you get a pullback here. People are kind of licking their chops. What should I buy? A lot of people are going to make a mistake of buying NVIDIA, NVDA, and I say a mistake because you can buy a lot of other things out there. Let's look at Tesla, TSLA. Now, Tesla, another holding that we have in one of our services, not going to say, well, I will say actually. Let's go to the platform again. Let's hit products. Let's click on sector focus. The first thing that you land on in sector focus is the 5-stock model that we have. It's called the 5-star model. And you can see that Tesla is in there. And Tesla has been in this model since August 5th of 2024. So since August 5th, 2024, we've been enjoying the upside here. That's a TSLA in our ticker box. You can see it's in the autos and parts sector. Now, something you want to really pay close attention to is the autos and parts sector is ranked 37. It's not a strong sector. Tesla, obviously, just crushing the sector. You look at the peer relative strength. Peer relative strength is strong. That means that Tesla is outperforming its peer group, the autos and parts sector. Bull alert, it means basically that the sector, in terms of the supply and demand of the sector, not just the strength, but the supply and the demand, how many stocks are participating in the upside, how many stocks are participating in the downside within that sector, it got pushed all the way down to a very, very low reading, meaning that most stocks were breaking lows and only a few stocks were breaking highs. But that tide has shifted. More recently, after lots of stocks breaking new lows, they turned around and started breaking new highs. So the trend is that you have more and more stocks joining the party on the bullish side in autos and parts. So it's very early on. If you're an aggressive investor or an aggressive trader, you might start focusing on autos and parts as a sector, but keep in mind the ranking in terms of its strength, which speaks to the velocity, how much it will go up when the market is strong. That's still pretty weak, right? So looking at Tesla, you see on the election, November 5th, it was down around 246 up to 250. And then the next day after the election, 286. So you'll see it in the price behavior before you see it in the news, right? We've been saying that based on the presidential election, watch what happens. You see Tesla spiked higher and then went from 286 within a few days up to 358. It pulled back with the market, as we just saw in IWM, the general stock market. In terms of the small caps, this is kind of a more accurate picture of what the general stock market is doing. Most stocks are small caps. But we got the pullback and Tesla popped. It's one that popped. The reason that it popped is because President-elect Donald Trump's transition team is planning to make a federal framework to regulate self-driving vehicles as a top priority for the U.S. Transport Department. Musk was a center figure in the business world, pushing for Trump's return to the White House in the lead up to this month's election. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of buzz saying that he's buddy-buddy and he's getting taken care of. But this has been a long time coming. Trump picked Musk last week and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the newly minted Department of Government Efficiency. I think you're going to see a lot of changes. Again, the newly minted Department of Government Efficiency. You're going to see a lot of newness. The market, the government, the economy, society, the United States, it's going to have this new sneaker smell, that new penny shine, so to speak. And with these announcements, Tesla shares jumped about 7%, more than 7% today. And you can see that big spike there. If you look at the volume behind the move, let's go to Thinkorswim, TSLA. I'm going to zoom in here. Look how it's right now 10:33 and the volume is almost half of the average daily volume. This is going to be a big volume spike today. It's basically saying that Musk is going to be taken care of and so is Tesla. All right, the other ones I'm going to run through very quickly. Robinhood, HOOD, also a position that we have. It's a position that we have in Checkpoint Trader, which is a long-term option service. Checkpoint Trader allows you to lock in your profits without locking yourself out of future gains. Robinhood is a position that we got into a while back. Let's take a quick look at the tracker, CPT track record, TRACK, record new. Now our Robinhood position is up 897% as of right now. And we got into this position a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, in October 26 of 2023. So let's take a quick look at what that looks like. October 26 of 2023, I'm gonna bust out the 3-year weekly chart. And this is when we got in, right before the thing declined. But now we're up almost 900%, 897% on the option that we pick. Again, this is a long-term service. We're going to hold on to Robinhood, hopefully till the end of this bull market, which I think is going to last at least a couple more years. Robinhood, I would definitely get into. I would get into the call options on Robinhood. You might want to wait for a pullback now that some good news came out on Robinhood, as Robinhood is considered a major beneficiary of Trump's crypto changes. And Robinhood also had a pre-market spike because Needham upgraded to a buy. So Needham upgraded to a buy. Okay, Chris Rowe and True Market Insiders, really Checkpoint Trader, said to buy it down when it was around just under $9. It's now up at 34. Needham is ranking it a buy. I still think it's a buy. I think it's going to continue to be a buy as we continue to move through 2025. So the Wall Street sector ranked number 8 out of 45 groups on the sector relative strength matrix, and the peer relative strength for Robinhood is obviously strong. It's outperforming the sector, it's outperforming the market. Finally, SAVE, we only have to look at this very quickly. No one's going to save you. Spirit Airlines, Surprise, the airlines that basically kicks you in the, let's say kicks you in the face before you get on their plane. You get on their plane. I'm surprised how good the service has been lately on Spirit Airlines. Usually you go there, there'd be chickens and goats walking along the aisles. There'd be litter everywhere. Sometimes they'd club you over the head and drag you through the aisles and throw you into your seat. The entire plane, everybody would be smoking cigars. Surprisingly, they went out of business. But before they went out of business, things started becoming actually pretty tight at Spirit Airlines. It was the nicest people, the best service. I've used them several times in the last year, and I've just been mind blown about how great they were. But maybe it was too little, too late. Okay, so let's just the aerospace airline sector is ranked number 3, and Spirit Airlines happened to go out of business. So this is a case of focus on the sector and not on the stock. Don't start thinking that aerospace and airline stocks are bad. The sector is actually very strong. It's ranked number 3. Spirit Airlines is a standout as an ugly sector. You will see it in the price behavior before you see it in the news. Tune in every day this week. We're going to look at whatever's in the news, whatever the story is at the time, and then we're going to run it through our platform, and I'll tell you whether I think it's a buy or a sell. That's going to be the theme for the entire week. Thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. I'll see you then.